And I'd call on Vice Chairman Matt Nichol to do the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, thank you for another wonderful day. Thank you for the many blessings that you bestow upon us each day. Lord, I ask you to be with this Board of Commissioners today as we make decisions for the best interests of this. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. You remain standing for the Harnett County Heroes Remembrance presentation. Good try.
Jesse J. Porter, Chief Warrant Officer, 2. Silver Star, for gallantry in action while engaged in military operations involving conflict with an armed hostile force in the Republic of Vietnam. Chief Warrant Officer Jesse J. Porter distinguished himself on 28 April 1972 while serving as Aircraft Commander, UH-1H helicopter. Mr. Porter's aircraft accepted a single-ship rescue mission to extract American advisors from Quang Tri City. During the course of the mission, his aircraft flew over enemy-held territory occupied by a regimental-size North Vietnamese Army, or NVA force, equipped with anti-aircraft emplacements. As the helicopter maneuvered into position for recovery of the Americans, they became targets of intense hostile fire. During the mission, the objective area was subjected to an intense barrage of NVA artillery. Without hesitation, Mr. Porter maneuvered his aircraft into position to engage enemy positions with maximum utilization of his available weapons. With disregard for his own personal safety, Mr. Porter repeatedly placed accurate fire on enemy positions. As a result of Mr. Porter's actions, the unsupported helicopter was able to successfully complete the extraction from Quang Tri City. Chief Warrant Officer Porter's gallantry in action was in keeping with the highest traditions of the military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. On March 2nd, 2026, your name and citation that appear on the Harnett County Wall of Heroes and will forever so remain as part of the history of Harnett County is being duly recognized for your act of heroism while serving in the United States Armed Forces. We, as a county, come together to commend you for your actions and dedication to our great nation. Signed, Brent Trout, Harnett County Manager, and Duncan E. Jaggers, Chairman, Harnett County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you. you the airplane as well.
All right, at this time, I'll consider any additions or deletions to the published agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the agenda as published.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're moving on to item 5, public comment period of up to 30 minutes for informal comments, allowing 3 minutes for each presentation. Speakers are requested to sign up prior to the meeting. Speakers may sign up by contacting the clerk at mdcaps@harnett.org at least 1 hour prior to the start of the meeting, or by utilizing the sign-up sheet at the back of the room. The sign-up form will be picked up by the clerk 5 minutes before the published meeting time. So the first person we have is Mr. Larry Happ.
Get my spectacles on. Hello, my name is Larry Happ. I'm the co-chair of Boone Trail District. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. The number of tax parcels included in the assessment grew by 10,000 just from the start of the project to the end. This is evidence that there is more revenue coming in. Properties are assessed at 100% of value. The tax rate will be determined by the Board of Commissioners by June 30th and will be based on revenue needs by location. New assessed values will go back out in March, and the new bills will go out in August. I didn't write a lot of down in the huge increases that vary by location. Every location will be impacted in high increase. The northern part of the county will be tremendously high increases. This is also in the area of new development. Traditional affordable housing has been tremendously increased because of high demand. This includes double wides, manufactured homes, single wide homes, now to be taxed as real property, and older homes and small homes. My children cannot afford or be approved to buy a house at the current rate, but can be approved for a $1,200 apartment. This doesn't make any sense. So my property taxes for myself have gone from $1,200 a year to $3,600 a year. And yes, it wasn't overnight. But I'm not the only one in the area that their property taxes have seen an increase for the last 5 years. People are being hit hard with increased costs at all levels. Home ownership has become unaffordable for many. Those who bought their homes over the last 5 to 6 years did so knowing they could afford the mortgage at that time. Insurance companies continue to raise the cost of homeowner insurance at ridiculous high levels, which also reflects on high mortgage payments. Higher real estate taxes will also be added to the monthly mortgage payments, making them unaffordable. Then there are those who have owned their homes for a long time and have no mortgage. Many of them are on fixed incomes and cannot afford higher taxes and insurance. Sometimes we have to give our elected officials something has to give, or our elected officials should start considering the huge impact on the people and eventually on our communities when they decide the tax rates. They can't complain about the cost of housing or the lack of affordable housing that needs to be addressed if the county commissioners themselves continue to be the problem by not adjusting the tax rate to a revenue neutral level. If taxes and insurance are higher, then rental rates also increase as an additional cost to investors will be passed on to tenants. Rentals are in high demand as more people can afford to buy. Demand on rental properties has already increased rents, making the cost of renting homes also unaffordable for lower income population. If the tax rate is not adjusted down to a revenue neutral level, everyone will be affected, and we could see a surge in foreclosures or homeless in our county. I believe the top tax rates in Harnett County are the highest they can levy. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Because of the large increase in real estate values, leaving the tax rates as they are will result in much higher costs all around, as discussed above, and could result in devastating consequences trickling down throughout our communities. They should lower the tax rate so the end result is revenue neutral. With additional new housing developments and commercial interest throughout the county is already receiving more revenue. Let's think about the people in these tough times and not be greedy with the budget by seeing the opportunity to take more revenue.
Mr. Happ,
Be conservative.
Your time is up now.
Lower all property taxes. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Eric Stevenson.
Well, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Good morning. I didn't hear anybody say anything over here. Oh, come on. But seriously, though, good morning. I mean, it's a great day. I'm so thankful that God woke me up this morning to be able to come here and be in the best county in North Carolina. And there are a lot of them, 100 to be exact. But this morning, I just wanted to kind of speak about some people that I met at the polls over the last couple of weeks. And specifically on the last day of early voting. The polls closed at 3 p.m. and I was in the parking lot until about 3:50 p.m. And so many voters pulled up at 3:01, 3:05, 3:10, and they were so fixed with the 5 p.m. time of the previous Saturdays. And I know there's influence between and joint meetings with the Board of Elections. I'm asking that you potentially just try to have consistency. Say, hey, let's keep all the hours the same. Because my heart went out to those people that pulled up at 3:05 and even at 3:45 wanting to vote. And some of them said, man, I'm not going to be able to get away from work on Tuesday, to go vote. And I just wish that all the hours could be the same. And I say this all the time. I believe in the widest dissemination of information. Meeting people where they are. It's too much technology these days for everyone not to know that we're in full swing, the most exciting time of the year, early vote. We want to make it that type of time where everybody knows, man, I can't wait to wake up and go early vote, That's how it should be. How you feel like you want to go to Disney, the greatest place in the world? It's like, man, it's early voting in Harnett County, man. We got to get out here and go early vote. And that can happen with, some campaigns, marketing campaigns. I have a marketing background. I would just love for it to really be that celebratory, that everybody knows that it's early voting. Because that's the one thing that we all can participate in. And I had a conversation with my friend Brad over there, just talking about, hey, I can't wait until March 5th so we can be one Harnett County, because politics is so divisive. And I love people, and some of the people that I love look at you because of a letter on your registration card. I look at people as friends, families, and neighbors. I don't care what your registration card is. I don't care what side of the river you live on. I didn't even know that there were sides. That doesn't matter to me. And the one thing I want to end with, I met a citizen that is potentially losing her home because of taxes. And it kind of goes with what Mr. Happ was saying. And I mean, if it's at all possible to have a cap on taxes, 65 plus, maybe there's no more property taxes or there's a reduced tax rate. I would just love to see something like that in black and white. And I know those conversations are going on right now, but I just would love to make sure that I don't see any hard-working North Carolinian lose their home because they're on a fixed income and it seems like the tax rate is fixed, That's kind of all I have today. And you guys have a blessed day. And on March 5th, we're going to be one Harnett County. On 3, one Harnett. One Harnett. All right, have a good one.
Welcome to this, honey.
Man, oh, yes, ma'am.
Welcome to this, honey.
Thank you. George
You
Williams.
just don't know.
Is there George Williams in here? It is George Williams.
He stepped out.
Is that you? I don't know where he's at, so. All right, we'll close the public comment period at this time. Moving on to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve this consent agenda.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Moving on to item 7, presentation of annual comprehensive financial report for the year ending 2025. Matt Braswell.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman, members of the board. Thank you for allowing me to take some time out of your meeting this morning and go through your financial statements as of 6/30/2025. This is a snapshot in time at 6/30/2025. User error. I apologize. We issued an unmodified opinion, which that means you received a clean opinion. That means your financial statements are in accordance with GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. Very cooperative staff, Kimberly and everyone that we work with, able to provide us everything we need in a timely manner to complete your audit and get it submitted to the LGC timely as well. So we do appreciate that. We do not take that relationship lightly or for granted. So we appreciate Kimberly and all her staff and everything she does to help the audit go smoothly. No findings or question costs. No material weaknesses or significant deficiencies to report to the board as well. So those are all positives. Total fund balance. Now this is all your general fund types. So this is your general fund, all your capital reserve funds, and your debt funds. So for GASB reporting purposes, those have to be combined for reporting in your financial statement. So you can see the gradual uptick trend over the past 3 years. So your total fund balance increased roughly about 13.4 to roughly a total of 163.8 million in your general fund types. This is all the general fund types together. As I noted just a second ago, capital reserve funds and debt funds are also included with your general fund there. So it brings me to my next slide. This is your fund balance position in your general fund. So you will see the comparatives. This is 24 and 25. So you can see the total fund balance that we talked about on the previous slide. We're going to get to your unassigned, what is available to the board to be able to appropriate and everything like that. So total fund balance of roughly 163.8. You got to take your non-spendables out of that, which is your prepaids and inventories. Stabilization by state statute, that is your accounts receivable or funds that's not been received in yet that is not available for appropriation. Your committed fund balance, this is going to be your commitments for various debt service, things of that nature. Assigned fund balance, now that will either be your appropriated fund balance that you appropriated for fiscal year 26 to balance your budget, and various other internal assignments by either you, the board, or finance, or any other various restriction there. So you can see your unassigned fund balance leaves you with roughly $42 million. And you can see the comparative unassigned prior year was a roughly $57 million. So we had a decrease in your unassigned fund balance. So this is just to compare that, you appropriated roughly $20 million for your 2026 budget. That is in this assignment there. So even though you added fund balance in total, your unassigned fund balance actually decreased. So I just want to explain that there. And then to go through your reserves on hand, so what we do is we take your unassigned fund balance that we discussed on the previous slide, divide that into your expenditures for the year, and so roughly 8% is one month supply on hand. So you can see you went from 34% to 21%, so a little less than 3 months supply on hand as of fiscal year 2025. And then to go through your general fund summary, increase in revenues of roughly $15 million. Expenditures increased by roughly $23 million. We'll go into a little bit more detail of your top 3 revenue sources and top 3 expenditure functions over the next few slides. So property tax, this is going to be the largest revenue for any local government there. So you can see an increase of roughly $6 million or 7% in 2025. Other taxes and licenses, the majority of this is sales tax. So you had roughly a $2.7 million increase or 5%. So consistent growth in the sales tax area there. Restricted and governmental, this is going to be your federal and state grants, either for human services or pandemic, various revenues from federal or state governments or local contributions there. So we had an increase of roughly $1.7 million or 7%. And you will see on the next slide how it correlates with the human services there. You had roughly 2.3 million increase there, or 7%. This is increased funding from either pandemic related and additional services provided there. So your restricted governmental and human services should correlate there, which they do. Education, you had roughly a $6.6 million increase, or 20% of educational expenses in your general fund. Public safety, roughly $4.5 million increase, or 8%. Operational and capital increases in 2025. To go to your enterprise funds, the water and sewer fund, unrestricted net position, this is going to be similar to your unassigned fund balance that we discussed in your general fund, if you want to compare those together there. So your unrestricted net position increased in your water and sewer fund to roughly $105 million. Cash flow from operations and debt service, that is your principal and interest that you paid for 2025. And so we want to make sure is that you have adequate cash flow to cover that debt service, which you have surplus there to cover that debt service. So cash flow and debt service were comparable to the prior year. Unrestricted net position went up. Solid waste fund, overall very comparable to the prior year. Not a lot of fluctuation in the unrestricted net position. Cash flow from operations was adequate to cover that principal and interest debt service for 2025 as well as solid waste fund. And then both enterprise funds had operating income. Now this is on the full accrual basis, so this does have depreciation and non-cash expenses in it as well. But overall, water and sewer and solid waste had positive operating income for fiscal year 2025. That is all I have. Any comments, questions, concerns?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll leave this up here. Thank you.
All right, moving along to item number 8, discuss a request to amend the Library Board of Trustees bylaw, specifically Article 3, Section 2.1.A. I think Mr. Matthews, you asked for it to be tabled at the last meeting.
That's correct, Mr. Jaggers. I did want to look into this a little bit more at the time. I basically have a couple of concerns regarding this request. The first of which being that where I know that we have, our society has moved to receiving information for the most part electronically. I do believe there's still a segment of our population who may not be as proficient with obtaining their information that way and still depend on looking at a local paper to keep up with the local news and possibly discover what job opportunities may be available. So I have some hesitation there to eliminate the need to publish positions in our local papers. I can certainly understand not paying the prices for some of the larger papers, but I think locally I would feel much better if we were to continue to advertise positions locally. I do believe that we do have, I think, one existing print media that prints a couple times a week, I believe, in the Dunn Daily Record and then the Sanford Herald, which a lot of our folks in the western part of the county get their news and information from, and does cover Harnett County as well. I would propose that we continue to advertise for job opportunities in our local papers.
Okay, so you want to make that in the motion that you would do to continue to include the Daily Record and Sanford Herald in the advertisement?
I would make that as a motion if that would please the chair.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion?
Question. This does not eliminate, this article here does not eliminate them from continuing to do it in the news media business.
My understanding when she presented it was not, she was going to do social media and the media platforms like that, not in actual newspapers originally, correct?
We are just trying to meet the people where they are. So we were trying to eliminate the word must from the bylaws, which currently restricts us from doing the newspaper first, which has not been successful for us. So we were trying to meet the people where they were and advertise in other avenues first. We certainly weren't restricting the use of newspaper, but it would remove the must term.
My understanding, the motion is just asking you to continue to use the Daily Record and Sanford Herald when you do. You're not required to do any of the other papers. He's just asking that you continue to use the local newspapers.
And it certainly would not prevent you from continuing to advertise on social media, on your website, county website,
Sure.
whatever it may be.
May I ask, do you want us to revert back to how the bylaws were previously written with the word must? So you're declining the rewritten portion? Just clarifying.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Thank you.
I can agree to that, just clarify, because I don't think it's eliminating, putting a limit on the newspaper. And you know, some people in the western part of the county, they don't get into those papers. So any way we can communicate with the citizens of Harnett County, I'm all for it. So we might need to think about that. What do you think, Brooks?
I agree, and that's the reason I asked to table this the last time it came before us, so that I could think through this a little bit and have a few conversations with some of our local folks. And the feedback I received supported some of my concerns, and that's why I brought this motion this morning.
I understand.
So you're not saying put the word must in there. You're just saying to continue to use the local newspapers also.
Well,
Is that what you, I mean?
I think we could word that either way. If the only thing we're doing is taking the word must out, I don't. Then we may be just well served to leave it like it is and move on. So.
Well, I agree, except for I think the word must need to come out, needs to be taken out. So I make a motion that would. No, I can't do that.
Not
Can't
yet,
do that.
not yet.
No.
Yeah, I guess my motion
I
was
understand how
that,
you're proceeding.
I guess my motion was that we would just name those two local news outlets that a lot of our citizens, or at least a portion of our citizens, depend on for their information.
And
as
that
a
would
part of that.
fulfill the need of must.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. My understanding is that the motion is the word must is for the Daily Record and the Sanford Herald. I don't think you're not taking the word must out.
The way it's worded currently is must in the local newspaper. Would that satisfy the board?
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I agree.
So, do we need to amend the motion then?
Well, considering the fact that as far as print media is concerned, I think those are the only two local papers we have at this time.
Okay.
I think that would feel the need.
We'll proceed on the motion as presented then. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving on to action items. Item A, discuss and consider a request to accept the County Veterans Office state grant in the amount of $20,000. How you?
Doing fine. Good morning.
Morning.
So we have received $20,000 from the North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. The scholarship is to be used for outreach and for advertisement. Our advertisement is going to focus mainly on the western side of the county, where we're trying to increase our outreach through our satellite office and then increase the awareness here in our main office. Our first event will be March 23rd at 9 a.m. We're hosting a veterans breakfast and information session to include people from the Department of Veterans Affairs and from local organizations.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item B, discuss and consider request to approve the fireworks application from Pyrostar Entertainment LLC for Campbell University's baseball season fireworks. Mr. Smith?
Good morning.
Morning.
As you stated, we're just looking to get some permission for this new company at Campbell. This is for their games, their baseball games on March 6th and on March 27th. And Pyrostar Entertainment meets all of the safety and code concerns. And they also have the correct amount of insurance for that too.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right,
Thank you. Item C, discuss and consider request for the approval of WebEx countywide phone system agreement. Mr. Hall.
Good morning. I got a few things on the agenda this morning. The first one is the WebEx renewal of a contract. The reason why I'm coming before you is because it breaks the $250,000 mark, and I need Chairman Jagger's signature. But we're just signing up for our phone system again for 5 more years. We just came off a 5-year contract. It's going up a reasonable amount. It's a little, probably around 15% after 5 years of being locked in. Excuse me. So the total 5-year contract is $395,000. That brings us in about $79,000 a year, and that's about a 15% savings over a 3-year contract. So I just want to go ahead and get that locked in, so we don't have to worry about any price changes over the next 5 years.
I move to accept that.
I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item D, discuss a request for approval to transfer tower access agreement to Ripple Fiber.
Yeah, a few years back, we signed a contract with then Cloudwise for them to have tower access to several of our towers. Ripple Fiber bought the Cloudwise infrastructure here in Harnett County and is now deploying fiber throughout the county, but they still need access to these 2 towers, the one in Lillington and the one in the northwest part of the county over near Oak Ridge Road, just so they can keep a connection going there between 2 pieces of their fiber network for a little while. It'll probably end up sometime in 2027 where they won't need this access anymore, but this is a 5-year contract just in case it gets a little delayed.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, discuss and consider request for approval of payouts for milestones 3 and 4 as outlined in Ripple Fiber's agreement.
Yeah. This one I brought in a little bit of a presentation, just kind of give you a quick update of what Ripple Fiber has done. You'll see on this first one a couple of maps. One's the town of Coates and one is Western Harnett. The purple area is actually the active, they're getting people signed up and going now with customers. The statistics he gave me right now, they've got 7 customers, 2 that are pretty much going live and 5 that are kind of signed up and going in that area. But they're working towards it. They've built out 48 miles of fiber in Coates and Western Harnett. And just, I should back up just a little bit, just a reminder for all of us. This is phase 2 that we signed up with Cloudwise back a few years ago. Again, Ripple Fiber bought them out about 1.5 years ago. So this is the continuation of phase 2 that we've helped fund with some supplanted ARPA funds. So this really is the fruit of what we've been doing over the last few years with Cloudwise, now Ripple Fiber. So we finally getting some homes lit up in these 2 areas in phase 2. So it's pretty exciting to see all this come together. They built out 48 miles of fiber infrastructure in these 2 areas, passing more than 2,100 homes. And it's really in the next few months they'll be able to light up most of those homes and give service to those homes. And the additional service areas are coming online and soon is what they said. Let's see, and that's pretty much it. I had some details here kind of listed out, but they're finally getting some customers on board and getting things going. But because they passed more than 2,100 homes in our agreement, those next 2 milestones have been met. The 500 homes passed and the 15 homes passed, and so we pay out $400,000 if we pay out these next 2 milestones, and that would leave $400,000 left of the original $2 million contract to finish up once they get everything complete and signed off on. So,
Mr. Hall, I may have missed, excuse me. Go ahead, Ms. McCoy.
Thank you for yielding. Does this really cover most of that area? Because this is something we've been working on for years and years, since 2014 over.
yeah. I mean, it's getting. I mean, this is not covering all the areas, but I mean, there's still pockets here and there. And I was going to do a brief overview of where we're at with some of the GRATE grant and CAB grants that we have after we talked about this. But we're really getting closer. My last estimate, we're going to be, somewhere between 70 and 80% coverage in Harnett County once we complete all the CAB grant, GRATE grant, what we've done with Ripple Fiber. But that last 20% or so it's going to be tough.
I just want to say we have come a long, long way. Because when we first began, I remember we had buses out there.
Yeah.
Set up for those kids to attack for internet service and all. So thank you for all that you have done.
Yeah, it's been a fun project. It's nice to see it coming closer to a close anyway. So,
And I would like to echo Commissioner McCoy's comments. I can remember, I guess Mr. Nickel, Ms. McCoy and I were here at that time following COVID and the glaring need that exposed to our folks being able to have internet access that was dependable and consistent. And at that time, we were, well under 10% of anybody that had fiber in Harnett County.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like pulling teeth to get anybody to even want to come and talk to us about that. And to think that we're close to 80% now is quite astounding. And just congratulations to you and your staff and the commissioners for having the foresight to embark on this journey. If you'd asked me 5 years ago if we'd be this far along 5 years down the road, I would have said probably no way we can ever get there. So congratulations to that. I guess my question, I may have missed it on your map. I guess the purple was where they're working on install now. What was the yellow?
So the purple is actually where they're active. They actually have some homes and they can light up a home.
I missed it all. Tell me what those colors mean. Yes.
Yeah. So the purple is where they're, providing service today. The green is really close and the yellow is kind of a little farther out.
All right.
So it's, but they physically have fiber there. It's just a matter of them doing some final things to attach, to make it to be available to the houses to attach to it. So they're passing 2,100 homes with fiber now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Tom.
I just want to say that I appreciate the cooperation from the commissioners too, because this was one time we really didn't know where to go. I would say that we know it was much needed, so I appreciate you.
Yeah. Yep. It's been good. It's had a lot of good support over the years for this too. So we're looking forward to finalizing some of this stuff and getting it done. So I don't know. Do you want to, I guess, oops, I must have hit something. I don't know if you want to talk about approving the next two milestones.
Yeah.
Before I would like to just mention the GRATE grant and CAB grant, just kind of reiterate where we got some of the other things we got on after that.
I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve payouts for milestones 3 and 4 as outlined in our agreement with now Ripple Fiber.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I just have a couple more seconds
sir.
to talk
Go
about?
right ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention the GRATE grant, just kind of remind everybody what's going on with that. We've got Brightspeed Spectrum and Ripple Fiber actually received a GRATE grant, and they're working on all that. When we get reports, Mr. Trout and I get the reports on at least a quarterly basis, if not more regular. They're still marking the 25 to 75% done. My assumption is they're closer to the 75%. On the report, there's like 4 or 5 different categories. Most everybody's still marking the 25 to 75%. My assumption, because of the time frame we're in, they're closer to the 75%, if not getting past that yet. But hopefully when this is all said and done, the GRATE grant will provide us over 6,000 more homes. And then also the CAB grant, which is a secondary grant that came after the GRATE grant. We received 3 CAB grants. Brightspeed received another one, Spectrum received another one, and Windstream, which is now Kinetic, received one also out in the western part of the county. So things are still moving along. Of course, they have till the end of the year to finalize these projects as far as the ARPA money is concerned. But just wanted to kind of reiterate that there's lots of things still moving. So when we get calls about dug up yards, you know why.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item F, discuss a request to approve a new Director of Public Safety Communications position. Mr. Major McNeil.
Good morning. For years, we've had shared responsibility in managing the radio systems in the county, the paging system for fire and rescue. We're asking today to create a position that will put that all in one person's hands. We have over 1,200 radios that's used by fire and rescue and law enforcement in the county. We have 5 towers that we work with the state with transmissions. So there's a lot of, and in the CIP, there's 2 more towers that we're looking to build or replace some existing towers. So there's a lot of work out there that used to be shared between emergency services, even Clinton and GIS, and then the sheriff's office. And we're asking for a position so we can put all those responsibilities in one person's hand, because a lot of things in the future needs to be done, and we feel like it's a need that the county need to consolidate those responsibilities.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item G, discuss a request to accept the award of $1,416,360 from USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service Regional Conservation Partnership Program to secure a conservation easement of 330 acres. Ms. Lambert.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm excited today to come to you as a part of our expanding farmland preservation programming here in the county to request permission to accept the award from USDA or NRCS in the amount of $1,416,360 to secure a conservation easement on 330 acres of working forest land in northwest Harnett County, which will protect water quality along both Hector's Creek and the Cape Fear River. This will be paired with the previously accepted $500,000 award from the North Carolina Department of Agriculture's Agricultural Development and Farmland Preservation Trust Fund to purchase the development rights of the property, providing perpetual conservation of working forest land and protection of water quality. Are there any questions?
Got it, right. Got it. Property. This is the property we were talking about across the river.
Yes, this property is almost directly across the river from Raven Rock State Park. So if you stand on the riverbank at the Cape Fear and look across the river to your right, you can see Raven Rock, as well as Raven Rock owns some property on the northern side of the river that's just 3 or 4 parcels apart from this particular property also. So this project combined with Raven Rock really provides a nice buffer for water quality protection within a high quality watershed here within the county. What's different on this particular piece of property is that it will be, even though it will have a conservation easement on it and it will be protected, it will still be in the ownership of a private landowner, and it will be able to be managed for timber production. They do some timber management on state parks, but not to the extent that this landowner will still be able to do. So this property will be protected as a working lands property, so that whether it be this landowner or future landowners, the property will still be able to be used for food and fiber production.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the request to accept the award of $1,416,360 from the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Services Regional Conservation Partnership Program to secure this 330 acres that Ms. Lambert has described this morning.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
But I do have something to say.
Motion carries. Yes, ma'am.
I think it's great, and I think it's much needed. But I can't understand why we can't get any funding, USDA funding for Riverside, to complete that project down there. I know you know what I'm talking about because you've been there on several occasions. And it is much needed there. I just don't understand what's happening. Why we can't get funding to secure those people's homes and secure the fact that water's coming up in those people's floors and in their windows and all of that. It's unsanitary, it's unhealthy. So, do you see any way that we can move this further? Or we have applied for FEMA?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So this is a completely different department, a completely different source of funding with a different purpose than what we need for out at Riverside.
I'm
But we-
much familiar with that, thank you.
But we have submitted a grant application to FEMA for some additional engineering work as well as the construction piece of the work that needs to be done out at Riverside to provide some relief for those citizens and help drain that community.
Well, I'm much appreciative of the work that you have done, the work that Coley has done, but I still understand that there is a lot more work to be done. And I'm just wondering, is it because it's a minority area? This is something that people have been dealing with for many decades. No one, I go down there to talk to give them some assurance that the county is moving on this. I communicate with Coley constantly about what can we do to bring some grant money here to help us. The money that we have used so far came from Mr. George Wood and opera funding. That was the money that we had. I don't know of any other money that we have received other than the opera money that we used. Oh, I do. Let me say this: the county has put some funding in, right, Tony? Yeah, county has put some funding, and I realize there's much more work to be done. But I don't understand. I represent all the citizens of this county. I don't represent just the minority area. I represent, and everybody here knows that. They know that about me because I try to carry myself in that way. And if you need me in any way, I'm here for you. But I don't understand why we can't move that area a little further than what we have.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you're very familiar with the project and you're familiar with the engineering study that we have had completed and are still in the process of fleshing out, working towards our end goal of having the construction piece actually implemented with the funding that we're hoping to get. One reason that this project has been so drawn out, obviously if you move water from one location, it's diverting it to another. And so through all the processes that we have been through in the pieces that we've already completed out there, that's something that we have to take into consideration is when we move it from here, is it going to cause a negative effect on landowners on down the water stream, potentially in that same community? And so that's one reason we've been so careful in having a lot of thought and engineering work put behind the work that's been done out there. And if we can secure this grant that we have put in, it will finalize the engineering study and the engineering work that we need done for the actual implementation of the best management practices that have been put forth as things that will work in this community to help provide them some relief. So hopefully by fall, we will have an answer as to whether or not we're going to receive this grant, which is upwards of $8 million that we have requested for work for the community.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate the work that you have put into that area. I appreciate Colin. We communicate often, but sometimes we have to let the citizen know county cares. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Lambert, one more thing. When the engineering study should provide that information as far as what the flow impact would be, would it not?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have that information, or is that study not complete, or we're waiting on it? What is?
We have the majority of that information, and we were waiting on some work from DOT in order for them to complete that study. So we have worked with them recently and completed part of that work on our own. In the past in December, we cleared 3 pipes under Bun Level Irwin Road so that we could communicate that information to the engineering firm in order for them to take a step forward in completing the engineering assessment to see how the hydrology was going to work once those pipes were cleared.
I appreciate that, because that would have been my next question. Have we cleared all of those the tiles that go under the road now?
We have, yes, sir.
Thank you.
And the Beaver Dam, correct? The Beaver Dam.
We've done some beaver trapping and removed some beaver dams. However, with the way that community lies at the convergence of the lower or of the upper Little River and of the Cape Fear River, and then with the Beaver Dam Swamp Canal going through the community, there's just a lot of water in that area, and therefore beaver maintenance is going to be that's a long-term maintenance plan that we're working towards for the community.
Exactly. You're exactly right. That is something that will happen year after year after year if we don't stay on top of that and manage that. But we do have somebody contracted to do that. Right. Yeah.
It has been promised years back, decades back, that the county would stay in touch with removing those beavers. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, those culverts down there that was put in a couple months ago that you and Cole and all did, that was supposed to have been done constantly. Check on that. That is the reason the area is the way it is, because the DOT did nothing. But I thank you and I appreciate that you got them back to take on the responsibility that they're supposed to have. I'm sorry. I guess you think I'm passionate about this, but if it was any other community, I would be passionate about. Because I can't understand citizens living in those kind of unhealthy conditions. Thank you very much. And
yes, ma'am.
For all your work.
Thank you. All right, moving along to review applications for boards and committees. The first one up is Home and Community Block Grant. I think that is District 3.
For a county employee vacancy that's on that board, and Drew serves in
I got you.
Parks and Rec.
So you need a motion on that, Mr. Chairman?
I do.
I make a motion that we accept the application from Drew Bryant to represent the county in the vacancy on this board as the county employee designated to fill that position.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to Harnett County Public Library Board of Trustees. We have an application from Mike Lancaster. He'd like to be considered for District 5 vacancy.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we accept Mr.'s application to serve on that position.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, we have received an application from Rose Ferguson. She would like to be considered for reappointment. She serves as the County Commissioner appointee.
Commissioner McCoy, make a motion that we accept this because she serves on this board and I too serve on this board. So I know the work that she does on this board.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right. Mr. Trout, you're up.
Thank you, Chairman. We got a few items this morning. The first item is our second quarter performance management report. Have the report there. We primarily in the second quarter, a lot of actions that are in process. Almost a third completed as we finish the second quarter. And so I feel pretty good. We're making the right progress on these particular items. Next item I have, we have a video to show you from the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners.
reference our district meetings coming up from the association.
While I'm finding that, did you wanna? Ben, can you come help me a minute? Oh, put a space.
Do you want to move
in.
on?
Well, while she's getting that up, yeah, we can move on to the next item. I need a motion to approve the budget amendments as requested by the finance officer.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
And then I need a motion to approve the request from the NCDOT to add Caldwell Street and Onslow Court in the Overhills Creek subdivision, Section 8, to the state's secondary road system.
Motion to approve.
Motion is second to approve the resolution. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Resolution requesting NCDOT to add Double Barrel Street, Bonnie Girl Court, Clag Dog Court, Dive Bomb Street, and Decoy Spread Place and Dunkings Crossing subdivision to the state's secondary road system.
That's your name.
Motion to approve.
Second. Is this in your neighborhood?
No.
We're running out of names for streets.
It's Duncan's neighborhood. That's in your neighborhood.
Wow, what's the streets? Okay.
Amen.
We've had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. All right, back to you again. That's some street names.
Get this video, or maybe.
Sorry about that. There was.
Hello, Commissioners. I'm Wallace Nelson, NCACC President and Paquemmons County Commissioner. I want to take a moment to speak directly to my fellow Commissioners and county leaders about our upcoming NCACC district meetings in early March. Quite simply, your presence matters. We're at a critical moment for counties. The decisions being made at the federal and state levels are having real, immediate impacts on our local budgets, our services, and the people we serve. District meetings are more than routine gatherings. They are working sessions that shape how we move forward together. On the agenda, we will be discussing updates on our presidential initiative, key association priorities, and important legislative developments. I want to especially emphasize the legislative updates. We'll be talking about H.R. 1 and its practical implications for our county budgets, especially related to programs like SNAP and Medicaid. We will also dive into ongoing property tax reform discussions at the General Assembly, which could significantly affect how we fund essential county services. These meetings are a great opportunity to hear from each other and to build stronger relationships with fellow commissioners in your districts. So please join us to share what's happening in your counties, what's working, what's challenging, and where you need support. When attendance is strong, our message is stronger. When we are aligned, our advocacy is more effective. And when we learn from one another, we are better equipped to serve our counties. I know schedules are always busy, but I encourage you to make attending your district meeting a priority. Finally, I would like to mark your calendars for March 27th for our first forum on our presidential initiative, Counties Care, Access to Health Care. We will be meeting in Raleigh to talk about the importance of health care and especially our rural hospitals. More information will follow, but I wanted to make sure you have March 27 on your calendars. So let's come together and lead together for our counties and for the people who depend on us every day. Thank you for all you do for supporting your association. I look forward to seeing you there.
Our district meeting for our district is March 13th, so I don't remember exactly where it's at. But,
In Cumberland County, I know. I was there
yeah,
last
Cumberland
year.
County, right. So March 13th, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Any new business? Hearing none, do we have a need for closed session?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that the board go into closed session for the following purposes: to consult with the county's legal counsel in order to preserve attorney-client privilege concerning the handling of certain litigation, including the following cases: Emerson versus Estate of Thompson, U.S. District Court in the Eastern District of North Carolina, case file 5:26CV98D, and to discuss a personnel matter.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye. Aye. We're going to closed session. talking about, we're back in session, after motion closed session, we're back in open session, and I think the clerk is asking us about the legislative session,
On March the 31st, if you guys are done,
March 31st. That's a normal meeting time, right?
it'll be about 11.
But I mean, it's a
11:30.
normal meeting day, right?
No, we do not have a meeting that day.
Okay, March 31st. That is a Tuesday.
Yep. Tuesday, March 31st, 11:30.
Sounds good to me.
Good.
Everybody good with that?
Got you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Legislative luncheon.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
That's our legislative.
So moved.
All right.
Or, second.
You'll be all right. Motion to adjourn. Everybody in favor, say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.